And we are live. Hi, everyone. This is your girl Gina from She Talks Football podcast. And I just had to get on here and go live because what I see, I know that you see my background. You guys know that I'm a hardcore Ravens fan. And after that cotton picking game that we had today, I was like, yeah, we're going to have to get on here and talk about this because this game was great. And I was actually in my clubhouse room with a bunch of my clubhouse friends, including these two gentlemen right here. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to go live because I want to talk about this game. And they were like, oh, we'll join you. So we are here. We're up in chair. So I'm going to introduce their names and they can tell you a little bit about themselves first. And these obviously are hardcore Ravens fans like myself. So that's why we were in there talking. So first we have who's in the middle there, Antonio. Welcome, Antonio.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Gina? What's going on, Cole? Go Ravens. I'm a full-time illustrator that's based in New York City right now, but I rep my Ravens. I'm from Baltimore City. Anywhere I go, it's that black and gold or that purple. You know what it is. So go Ravens.
Right, right. And then I have Cold Crush. Cold, what it is.
Not much, man. I'm Cole Crush. I'm originally from Baltimore. Stayed in Park Heights. Did all my schooling in the area. I'm in the Carolina area now. I do multifamily, as far as apartment homes, anything over 300 doors. But I'm a diehard Ravens fan. I'm from Baltimore, bleeding black.
All
All day. Went to
right.
school in Atlanta. So it's good to talk about the Ravens. We don't really get much coverage, and when we do, it's always bad. So let's just hear from people that's from the city that truly watch, the team play, and give them a perspective on what we thought today. I know one thing: we mopped them Chargers. So let's talk about it.
We whopped them. So let's go in here. I'm just going to go ahead and find the link. I'm going to tweet it. You guys make sure and tweet out the link so people can jump on and listen. We actually can see comments. Hey, Janice, I see you up in here. If you guys click the comments on the right, you'll see Janice says, "What's up, y'all? I'm here." Welcome, Janice. I'm just going to tweet this out so people can jump in. We'll tweet it out, Facebook, so they can listen in. And we're going to jump right in here. Because this was well, of course, to us, it was a great game. I'm sure not to the Chargers fans, maybe not so much. But to us, it was a great game. So it is Twitter. Let's just go ahead and tweet that. So we're good. So let's get in and talk about the Baltimore Ravens, who are now 5-1, 5-1. Took down the Chargers, who arguably probably the best team in the AFC. Maybe you want to throw the Bills in there, but sure, everybody's been talking about Justin Herbert and the Chargers for weeks now. Great team, great quarterback. Not taking anything from that. So I have to admit, coming into this game, did I expect us to win? Yes, I expected us to win. Did I expect it to be close? Absolutely. I expected the game to be close. I thought it was going to be a battle, leads going back and forth. And it was just going to be a fight. And I have to admit, I was just a tad bit concerned about our defense, given the way they have been playing over these past few weeks. And coming into a high power offense like the Chargers, with all the weapons that they have, they got the Keenan Allen, who's on my fantasy, Austin Eckler, just a bunch of, it's just a big high power offense. So I was like, man, if our defense playing like they have been, it's going to be a struggle. But I still believe that we were going to win. So let's go ahead and just start to break this down. But Cole, go ahead and give us your overall thoughts about the game.
Overall, I believe that they played very well on all three phases. For the first time, they put it together. Special teams looks very solid. I'm not a fan of my boy D. I struggle with some of their names, but I can tell he's getting more comfortable with that kick return and punt returner role
Duvernay,
since
you're
he's
talking
never done
about.
it before. Yeah, since he's never done it before. In every game, you're seeing the confidence build. He's finding the lanes. He's making better decisions with the ball, when to run, when not to run. And he had amazing job today. Tuck is always going to be Tuck. So that's what can you say about that? He's always going to come through. But just seeing the offensive line gel and make that perfect clean pocket for Lamar is probably a discussion that you're not going to get in many other rooms or just at all. People are just going to, mull over that. And this continuing of this rotation of this backs, Bell had a good game. He did have that one big yard that got called back on the holding penalty, so that cost him 30 yards. But I'm just looking to keep my eyes on him as his confidence build, as he's learning more of the playbook. He's continued to excel in pass protection. And then Freeman is what can you not say about that boy too? So that boy is really balling. Bateman's coming off the groin injury, and he had 4 catches, I want to say, for a little under 50 yards, somewhere around there. Hollywood had a strong game as well. It's nice to see if he could have pulled that other grab in because he dropped that one. That was an easy one. You got to catch that. But Lamar's looking more confident, but he's also looked like he's going through all his progressions and getting to more people. So it's a lot of excitement. I'm high on Miles. I want to see what Miles is going to do in this new offense. He didn't get much playing time, but once he comes and he's a maul in that run block game, and then we bring back the other tight end that's really, really good. So
Nick Boyles. Best
Nick
blocking
Boyles,
tight end, Nick
Boyles, and Patrick McCall into the mix. It's something special is going on with this team. And the defense as well. Like you said earlier, we was talking about Deshaun. They play better on the back end. Can they do it week in and week out? That's going to be the thing. Can they communicate and do that on a week in and week out? Patrick Queen looked like he's starting to get settled. The game is starting to slow down a little bit for him. So that's a strong game. But overall, if you're a diehard Ravens fan, this tackling woes has been just killing us, and they did a much better job of wrapping up people today. So it's a lot of things to be excited about as you're a fan, especially since we're going into this weaker part of the schedule, and the big boys are not there, still not back. Some of the heavy hitters are not back, and some of these other guys are still learning this playbook. So it's exciting to see next week what the Ravens do to the old kryptonite of the Bengals. Can we just keep the train going? Can we keep the train going? What's your thoughts?
So I see, Janice, I see you up in here. The fantasy futurist. I see you, bro. I saw you follow me the other day. Yes, happy football Sunday. So the fantasy futurist says that he's a big Duvernay truther. So I appreciate that. I want Duvernay to show me a little more, but I have seen his progression since he's been in here. He cracked me up when he did the presser and coach said, catch the ball and run. You're catching the ball and running. So I'm looking for him to actually run the ball back. I want to see some return touchdowns, but and also for him to get targets. He was only targeted a couple times in the game. I know he missed the one target for sure, but he might have gotten another one. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Janice says definitely want to see how Bell is going to be moving forward. Hope Mary is good though. Absolutely, Janice. I was just thinking that as Cole was talking. I definitely hope Mary is okay. That dude was out there getting it done. Everybody that said, where's the running game? The running game was back. We knew we were going to run the game. Why? Because the Chargers were 29th in run defense. So we were definitely needing to be running the ball today. And I was like, if we can't get a game going today, I was going to be concerned. I would be concerned, Saints members and friends, if we couldn't. So Freeman broke off some. Mary broke off some. Mary got in the end zone. I'm still wondering what's up with Tyson Williams though. Le'Veon was in there. He's trying to get things. I saw a few plays where he almost looked like the old Le'Veon. Did you notice that, Cole, on a few of those plays?
Yeah, I saw that, and I said earlier, and we can't afford any more injuries. I mean, Mary went down, but I said this seems like destiny and fate. And what I meant by that was Bell is about to make his comeback, and things are just falling in place for him to have his opportunities. John Harbaugh said, "We already know who he is. We've seen enough of him. We're high on him. We have to get him up to speed." Of course, you don't want anyone to get up to speed under these circumstances, but the fact that Mary may be hurt and the way that they've been so constantly not rushing people back, and Bell has been looking good with his few opportunities. Freeman has been looking really good with his few opportunities. That it's a good possibility that, depending on what this short week looks like, Bell might be the future back. And I know all of us Ravens fans, we love Williams, but if you know anything about John Harbaugh, you put that ball on the ground, you're gonna be in the doghouse for weeks before you come back.
Right.
So it's not about talent with Williams because he can play, he can ball. It's just that he can't keep on to the ball. So the yards per run doesn't matter if you can't hold on to the rock, and he cannot hold on to the rock. So until then, with John Harbaugh, he may not see the field, and the only reason why he will see the field is because we're so short-handed. But he is going to be where he's not going to get many touches. So next week, don't be surprised if the main workhorse is going to be Bell or Freeman, but I'm leaning more towards Bell as the future back. The third down back is going to be Freeman or Williams. Probably is going to be Freeman because Williams is just in the doghouse with John Harbaugh. And unless something change over these next couple of days, because most likely Mary is probably not going to play next week. He's probably not going to play. And even if he is a healthy scratch, John Harbaugh's just not going to put him on the field because he has a good cushion not to. Why do it? He's just going to rotate someone else in, or they're going to sign another back. They're just going to sprinkle some more of that, that EDC magic, and they're going to sign another veteran back, and they're going to get somebody else and just let Mary rest. Whatever the injury is, they're not going to rush him. The same thing they're doing with Bateman, and look how that paid off. Dude had like 5 catches for over 50 yards.
Let's jump in. Yeah, let's jump in and get Antonio. Welcome back, Antonio. So we were just giving our overall impression about the game. So you go ahead and jump in.
Literally everything that y'all have been saying, the run is a complete, win just as a team, all 3 phases. The running game, like it was just said, just came back. To see us breaking off, 6-7 yards on first down, and then making it so that we had those short third downs, those 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 3s that you just know that the Ravens are probably going to get. Another thing that I loved is for the running game, we weren't necessarily just running up the gut. We were attacking them where they were weak, which is to the side. So we kept running to that right side and just gashing them over and over and over again. And I mean, who can stop Mark Andrews? It seemed like if you play zone, you're just asking for Mark Andrews to burn you, just burn you up like a bad piece of toast. And I absolutely love that. And like it was said earlier, Lamar had so much time in the pocket. And even toward the end of the half where they started to kind of sack him and everything like that, when they came out in the third quarter, he still had, just time in the pocket. Once everything, especially in those first 2 quarters for the most part, he was out here playing backyard football.
Right.
You cannot let someone as talented as Lamar Jackson get to the point where the game is so slow for him that he's out here playing backyard football. How do you stop him? Y'all saw the highlights. He juked their whole front line. I mean, he made the dude completely fall on the ground. And if he would have kept going on that side, he could have easily just hurled him and then probably scored a touchdown. The Ravens are absolutely peaking in front of everyone's eyes. And like Cole said it earlier, we're not going to get the big thing. I disagree with you this time, Cole. You cannot deny how amazing the team looked today. Beating a team earlier today, they were talking about the 3 teams in the AFC, which were the Bills, the Chargers, and us. And now for us to completely we humiliated them. If they would have flexed this game, they would have been absolutely humiliated on Sunday Night Football. Can you imagine that? 30-something to 6? Hold up. The Chargers with all those weapons, no one would choose our receiving core over the Chargers receiving core. And they got 6 points? My mind is blown right now. Blown head emoji is what I got. So
Right.
Oh no, it's not blown. But I'm gonna blow it after Regina talk because
Yeah.
I got the perfect segue for that.
Okay. So, as you guys have said, I was concerned about the defense. Did I need to be concerned? Apparently not.
Of course.
Those boys were out there tackling their lives today. I was like, wait, what? Because the previous teams, they were able to break off. Those quarterbacks was checking down, and these dudes were breaking
And it
off
was going
20,
for
30-yard
touchdowns.
runs. Yes. I was like, oh, wait. But they got a few first downs. Of course, they're going to get a few, but we were grabbing them by the legs, grabbing them by the ankles, grabbing them by whatever way we needed to get them down. They were bringing them down. The defense was in there. Anthony Averett, although it was a couple times, and we were talking about that on Clubhouse, I was concerned about his coverage, but then he came back on some other plays. He was able to draw an offensive PI. Like what? We never get those. And so he really buckled down on several of those plays. So I'm going to give Averett a B today, a B minus. I'm gonna give him a B minus.
Humphrey locked it down.
Humphreys came back hardcore because I actually think Humphreys got kind of hurt in that last game. Humphreys came back and was just like everybody, like everything was like, nope, nada, not in my house. Like that dude was out there Mutombo in the day. He just was not trying to hear it on his side of the field. So yeah, the tackling, Deshaun Elliott. Did you guys, it made a big difference having Deshaun Elliott back out there. I'm trying to tell you, it made a big difference having him back out there. And Patrick Queen looked like he was going to be on. And then he got hurt. So I hope he's okay because I don't think I'm right, Janice. She said Humphrey definitely showed up today. And Janice said they don't believe us, but we coming. And that's exactly. You ain't got to believe us. Keep not believing us. Keep not talking about it. Right. Go there and do y'all thing and let us stay over here and keep stacking these dubs. And we will see y'all in the Super Bowl while y'all still over here talking about every day. So the O-line, what do I always say in Clubhouse and everywhere? Everything begins at the line of scrimmage. For me, despite secondary challenges and all that kind of stuff, you get in the line of scrimmage, you can take pressure off of them back there. So with the O-line holding up the way, Lamar had all the time in the world on most plays. They sacked him a few times, but for the most part, he had all the time in the world to throw. He was just standing there in the pocket like, la-da-dee, la-doo-da, la-da-dee. Like, he was looking around trying to see, like, well, I guess I'll flick it over here. And he was literally unfazed and unconcerned. I was like, I see y'all O-line. I see y'all out there. So like you guys said, in all three phases, the offense showed, the offense obviously have been showing up. The offensive line was in there. The defense showed up hugely. Special teams, always going to special teams. Like it was just a great overall game that we beat at all three phases. I agree with you guys. So Cole, I'm gonna come back to you, Cole, and then we can come back to you, Antonio.
So all three phases, and they win by a large margin. Y'all want now watch this stat. Lamar was only 68% QBR today. 68, coming off 86.
Right.
He was 19 for 27 for 167 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 INTs, and they still won big. They still won big. Who else can do that?
Who gonna stop us, boo? Who is gonna check us?
So the top running back today was Deontay Freeman. He had 9 carries for 53 yards and a touchdown.
That's amazing.
5 yards per carry. He's not even our number one back.
Right.
Mark Andrews had a big game. He had 5 receptions for 68 yards and a touchdown. His longest catch was 21 yards. And then Anthony, AA, he had 6 tackles and that's the top performers per the Ravens app on the defense side of the ball.
Okay.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. He didn't have any sacks. He didn't have any forced fumbles. He didn't have any interceptions. He had 6 tackles.
And we almost had a lot of interceptions today too. Like we had about
We
2 or
did.
3 of them that,
Right,
that really
right,
should have been
right.
interceptions if we come on.
So close.
And I
But
mean,
we did get the
Deshaun,
one.
and Deshaun Elliott snatching it out of that Chargers
Yes,
player's hands when he did get the
yes,
interception. Come on, I mean,
yes. That was gangster.
like you said, Cole. Think about it this way: when the person that's not our number one back has a lot of yards and has the most yards rushing, what are we really talking about right now? When you have a rushing team that we're going back to that set that the Ravens are always going to have. We thrived when we had that 3-back kind of like 3-headed dragon type of style. That's what the Ravens like. We like to have 3 strong backs. Knowing that we have that right now and that we're building that, and the fact that we got our backs, like our real backs, decimated. Can you imagine right now what will be going on if we had Dobbins and if we had Gus in there along with Le'Veon or with Murray? If we had those 3 in here, or even Justice Hill, what are we talking about right now? Again, the Ravens, the league should be lucky that we got hurt like we did. And now they're unlucky because they expected us to lose. And now we're winning. The fact that we beat the Chiefs, and yeah, you call it luck or whatever you want to. The fact that we won against all these other teams today, the best part of it is the point, like the point difference. Knowing that we beat them by not 1, not 2, but 3 or more scores. I can't say enough about, like, again, and also game, like the play calling too, because we love to, as Ravens fans, we love to talk about Greg Roman. We love to talk about, them blitzing too much and everything like that. The scheme today was called, such a great game was called. Like play calling, again, on both sides of the ball, play calling was absolutely superb. Think about that. Just think about the fact that we were able to lock down one of the top, a team that just had like an insane amount of stats last literally a week ago. And they came back on a really good football team who, again, a lot of people would say is better than us. People still think the Browns are better than us. So they just came back on that team that ran all over them, and they whipped them. And then now, for them not even to get 7 actual points on the board?
Right.
Are you kidding me right now? And they only got it because of the interception. The way that the game was going. After we intercepted the ball, if we would have just
it could have been zip. Yeah. We can't hear you, Cole. You're on mute.
I said it should have been zip, but the fact that it wasn't zip, now you have something to work on. Now you have a chip on your shoulder. You got something else you need to work on. Marlon Humphrey was been all on the Ravens app talking to John Harbaugh about the tackling got to improve. So now maybe we can get back to smash math when we just delay people out, and really start to ball. And Janice is in the comments, and she made a strong point for all you analytics heads, for all you stat people that this all we want to go off all these stats, right? She put the Ravens the last time they went 5-1, second time in history they did it. It's the second straight season they did it. It's the 4th time they did it in history. The last 2 times when they did it, we put up that thing and got that ring.
Let's go.
I think
in 2000 and 2012, we brought home the chip.
Let's go.
We're in a really strong position. Now we play the Bengals next week. So long as we don't lose who we are and don't get caught up in this trap game, once we get past the Bengals, these next couple of wins, they should be solid wins. They should be building blocks and giving starters time to get healthy. And I kind of love the fact that Ronnie is not in the lineup, even as a diehard Ravens fan, because now you're getting all these other guys reps. Early on, you're getting them reps. And John Harbaugh likes to use offensive line like a revolver. You might be playing tackle today. Next week, you're going to be playing guard. Then you might be playing center. And the fact with all the injuries, we have been people playing guard. We got people playing tackle that wasn't playing tackle. You got centers now playing, and they're holding up. And they're looking really good. And the pocket's getting clean. Wait what's going to happen when Ronnie gets in the lineup.
Yep. Shout out to
We should-
Villanueva, who was getting owned in the Raiders game. We were trying to get him off the team after
Right.
that
I
Raiders
wanted
game
him
'cause he was
waived in the halftime. At halftime, I wanted him to go and wave him right then and there.
And
We
I
was
told
like,
y'all,
get him
give
up
him
off the
time.
squad.
Give him time. And y'all was like, no, he
No,
gotta
it
go.
wasn't time. It was moving him to left tackle, which was his normal position. That's what it was. Time
Yeah.
wouldn't have helped that. It was moving him from right tackle to left tackle,
And
which was his
look at
natural
what's
position. I
happening.
didn't know that.
Look at what's happening.
still think it's
Playing
time
like an
because-
absolute superstar is what he's doing right now. The pocket is so clean. And let's be real about the situation. You give any decent quarterback in the NFL a clean pocket, they're going to be able to pick you apart 9 times out of 10.
Right.
Let's be honest about the situation. But no one expects it from the Ravens. Why? Because people who don't watch the Ravens, they don't understand the all the woes with the injuries that we've had especially since Lamar has been in the game. For us to just pay Ronnie Stanley and then all of a sudden he just get hurt immediately after he gives them the ink ain't even dry on the check yet, you know. But I mean, and they talk about the Bengals look real. The Bengals have been a great team, which is why Cole was talking about they've actually been our kryptonite. They've handed us lots of losses through the years. As a matter of fact, the Bengals are a great team, but I think as long as we play this type of football, and it wasn't even mistake free. That's the thing about it. Think about what we just did.
Right.
It wasn't even mistake free football.
Even with the interception.
Wasn't even mistake free football.
We played like Ravens today. That's what I have always said. When we play like Ravens, you cannot stop us when we play like Ravens. That's just the bottom line. When we play like Ravens, you cannot stop us. So those dudes came out there determined. They were not afraid. I mean, they didn't flinch. We really took over the game from the very beginning. From the very beginning, we took over the game. It was like, okay, it was like, well, don't get too excited though, sis, because the Chargers are a 60-minute team. And we saw, like you said, Antonio, how they came back on the Browns last week in the fourth quarter. So it's like, okay, wait, this is a 60-minute team. But as time went on, I was like, wait, they still only have 6 points. Third quarter, wait, they still only have 6 points. Fourth quarter, wait, they still only have 6 points.
And they're not even looking like they gonna score. That's the crazy thing. They ain't even look like they was ready. Like we literally sucked we
going 3 and out.
If you're a Mortal Kombat fan, we Shang Tsung. We just sucked their soul right up out of them. Like
going
your soul is
out.
mine. Finish him. Like that's what we did to him. Like
so here's the thing. Don't 1 second, Cole, and I'll let you jump in. We know that everybody has been hyping up the Chargers, and I'm not saying it wasn't due. The Chargers have been a great team. And I actually said, I was like, we're going to win the game, but I do have my concerns about this is going to be the toughest game that we face this. This is what I'm thinking now coming into, I was like, this is the toughest team we face this season. Those Chargers, they're not a joke. With that offense, that Keenan Allen, that Austin Eckler, their O-line, that Justin Herbert.
Who? Justin who?
I even saw Torrey Smith had tweeted on Twitter when they were out there doing the warm-ups. He was like, man, that Justin Herbert is a big dude. He was like, he's huge standing out there on the field. It's like people were like, you don't really have an understanding about how big he is. He's like 6'6" or almost 6'6".
He's 6'5".
Yeah, like 245 pounds. Yep. And everybody was like, he's a big dude looking at him. He seems imposing, but hey.
Justin, we weren't about.
Let's give it to Let's give it to. And I don't know if you guys watch Ravens Report, but I watch everything Ravens. So Ravens Report comes out on Saturdays, and it's online too. And so when they interviewed Coach, they would let's look ahead to this Chargers Ravens game, and Coach did say, and I caught it. He was like, he was saying this, that, and the other, and building up the team. He was like, yeah, but we got some things. I was like, wait, Coach, I heard you say that. I heard him say it. He was like, yeah, but we got some things. And he said it all casually, but I caught it. And I was like, did you have some things? Obviously, we had they went to work in that room this week. They went to work looking at that film. They went to work coming up with these plans because they could not catch a break. They could not catch a break. And as we said, they only got that one score because we turned the ball over, which means if we had not gotten that interception, it's likely this could have been a 34-0 game or more. So go ahead, Cole. What were you saying?
Say the headlines are already coming through, so you're a Ravens fan. You want to see what the what all the analysts is going to say. So first article came across my Nefez already said Ravens shut down Chargers in dominating fashion. Like, so imagine what this is going to do for Le'Veon Bell. Gets back, gets a couple of carries. John Paul made sure he was going to get his touchdown. He got the monkey off his back. Next week against them Bengals, they don't really stop the run that much. And if Mary's out, we might see Bell from Black and Gold like show out. So it's just so much to be excited about. Huh?
He gonna be the number 2, I think. I don't think he's gonna be number 1 just yet, Cole. I think he's gonna be the number 2 on the depth chart.
So you think Freeman's going to be number 1 next week?
I still think Freeman gonna be, because he has some really good runs today. So
y'all
but I
don't
agree
think
with you, Cole.
Tyson is coming back in?
I think Bell gonna be number 1 next. If Mary can't go, Bell number 1 next week.
I don't care who it is. The scheme,
as long as they run.
If the scheme is what it was.
The pass block, and he's the best out of all of them next to Mary for pass block. Freeman's not a good pass blocker. Mm-hmm. So it's going to probably by default, even if we think he's ready or not, is going to be Bell. John Harbaugh's crazy about him. So John Harbaugh's high is on him, like how Regina and I was talking about Sack Daddy. Wink is crazy about JF. He's crazy about him. So it's not correlating on the field yet, but he's crazy about him. So so that's how John feels about him, and Wink loves Ferguson. So it's the same way. He gonna get his opportunities if Murray's hurt. And so far, with the limited opportunities he has, he's done well with them. He just needs more. He just needs more touches.
So what were some unsung heroes? Like, we know, Lamar did his thing, but it wasn't even all about Lamar. It was literally a team win. We know the running backs got their thing on. We saw Marlon, but let's talk about some unsung heroes in this game. Some players you might not have heard their names during the game, but we know that their presence made a big difference in this great team win today. So just throw out some unsung heroes.
Patrick Ricard. Do you like on all of them plays? You just saw him blocking out of his mind. Like I gotta throw my mask on because they left them boys sick real fast. I just gotta throw my mask on. They got these boys sick out here.
I'm not gonna say he an unsung hero. We know who he is,
right?
But get a sack. So I'm gonna say how Regina said, "Away, away, away, away."
No, that's not what I say, dude. I say
no. She don't say it like that. Go ahead, Regina.
You don't say it like that. How you do it?
No, that was European. What you did? Away, away. That's how we say it. Got to have like.
Regina gets so sexy. Away.
Hey, that's your phrase. So we're gonna make sure we do it the way you do it. But at the end of the day,
Regina gets sultry. It's all get out.
Listen, that's your corn phrase. So I want to make sure you're the first one to do it right. I messed it up on purpose.
She turned right into the late night radio personality immediately.
So yeah, we know about Pat Ricard. We know, that's something, but that's one of those names that you don't hear called. When you're watching the broadcast, you don't hear the name Pat Ricard. You don't see that name written in all the articles. But as Ravens fans, we know what Pat Ricard does, and that dude is a beast.
But he's a beast. Like Pat Ricard is a beast. He is an absolute monster. Like it's really hard. This game, for real. It's very hard to pin one person. Lamar did his thing. Hollywood did his thing. Mark Andrews always does his thing. The running backs did their thing as a collective. Like again, Pat Ricard, the O-line blocked well. The defense blocked well. My man Chuck Clark. Usually, this is a new Lamar jersey that I just got yesterday. Shout out to my dad, James Clark, for giving me this. Thanks, Dad. But I usually, since my last name is Clark, I usually wear Chuck Clark's jersey.
Right.
So I'm mad because he has some really good tackles and breakups this game too. So it's just a great team win. It's a great team win. And here's another thing. Like, can we just all collectively just enjoy the fact, and I was saying this when we was in Clubhouse, the fact that we have Justin Tucker like in the back pocket, that we know that
Always.
we're not going to lose by 1 point because Justin Tucker's not going to miss the extra point.
Always.
And like, as soon as we get past the maybe like 40-yard line, like even if we had to go further, but as soon as we get to the 40, we're like, oh, if we don't get it, Justin's going to kick the field goal. Like, do you know how much of a weapon that is? How many teams have won and lost? Every game this year, a game is coming literally down. The Jaguars won today because of a last-minute field goal.
Because of a field goal.
How many games have Justin won for us? Again, us Ravens fans know. So it's not like that's something that's and even the world now after the Detroit game, the world knows that Justin Tucker is the greatest field goal kicker of all time, point blank period. But how great is it that we didn't have to pull out the defibrillator this game? No defibrillator needed. No heart pills, no blood pressure pills, no after game drinks, from all the stress, no shakes. We got to sit back. Huntley came in the game. I had said it when we was in the clubhouse room. I was like, I want us to beat them so bad that Huntley come in the game.
Right.
And Huntley came in the daggone game. You called something way earlier, Regina. Right before the interception, you had called it. And I called it earlier. I was like, I want to see Huntley in this game. I don't want to see Lamar playing all the way through the fourth quarter, and we didn't. So it was a complete team win. This is literally one of the most complete wins we've gotten for a long time, actually.
So far, yeah. And you're right about that. One of my favorite women's Facebook groups, football Facebook groups, is called She Loves the Ravens. Check it out. It's on Facebook. I've been in the group for years, but literally we were posting about, in advance what we were going to do for the game this Sunday, because they were talking about, all of these heart attack games and people got to take their blood pressure medicine and have the Valium on it. And one of the funnier comments, they were like, how about we just tailgate outside the ER? And that way everybody's just right there. Like, it was just some really funny comments coming through there, but it was not that. It was not that, you guys. This is the first game this season that it was not that, but it was like you were a little shocked. So you were like, okay, well, don't get too excited yet. I didn't really get super excited. Like, we got this. And even though they've come back on the fourth quarter, I was like, the way we've been playing, they're not coming back. They're not. It's no coming back from this. It's no coming back. It's no coming back. So go ahead.
The other thing is, and I'm sorry, Regina, the other thing is, what about this MVP race that you already know that they're talking about? You already know they're talking about the MVP race. Lamar is just gaining even more room on everybody else with the way that he's playing. Not only with running the ball, again, we're going to be seeing how he just made dudes fall on the ground all week long, but also he's just throwing darts out of there left and right. And even he had a couple throws that he overthrew. Once Lamar really gets in the rhythm, with Hollywood, I mean, that pass that Hollywood missed, if Lamar takes a teeny bit off of that, just a teeny bit, that's right in his breadbasket, just a teeny bit. So, I mean, the ceiling is the Super Bowl. Realistically, the ceiling is the Super Bowl. And I mean, we're not, the team isn't talking about it. And of course, certain people are talking about it. And of course, us diehard fans, we're taking it one game at a time because we can't overlook anybody. If anything, these first couple games have shown us that we can't overlook anybody. So the Bengals, I expect us to play the Bengals the same way that we did. Because just, that Joe Burrow is a great quarterback. He's a great young quarterback. So, and he just like Lamar, you got to contain him, because if not, he will run all over the place. But yeah.
Cole, you jump back in there, Cole.
So you were talking about some players that no one talks about. My go-to right now is going to be Bradley Bozeman.
Yes.
No one's talking about how well he's playing.
No, I have.
He's, no one in the other rooms. He's balling. Like him, Patrick, on that offensive line are doing a hell of a job, and no one's giving them their credit where it needs to be due. We had so many issues before in those positions, and they're turning out to be anchors. It'd be shocking if they're not in the talks later down in the season, because it's so early to say. but those boys better be on that somebody's Pro Bowl ballot.
Pro Bowl.
Like,
Yeah.
they better be on somebody's Pro Bowl ballot because they're doing an amazing job. And then there's some defensive guys that's just getting overlooked on the Ravens as well. But I think the bigger thing is go back to when me and Regina was talking preseason. This offensive passing attack really has to go to those two new young black coaches they signed with the new route running.
Keith Williams and Tim Martin. I've been saying it. Tim Martin and Keith Williams. Tim Martin and Keith Williams. Tim Martin and Keith Williams. Thank God they brought him in, and they brought him in early in the season. See, that was your first clue. That was your first clue right there. The Ravens are playing chess. They are not playing checkers. I don't think people really see what they're doing, but we see it. Like, they are very methodical in their approach. When we're running, what we're showing you, what we're not showing you, when players are playing, when they're not playing. I'm telling you, it is, they have been very methodical and they are playing chess. And we, as you guys said, we have not seen everything yet. We still have the cavalry to come in. We still have players that are going to be coming back and getting back in these games during this last half, which is tough. If you look at the last 7-8 games we have, it's a tough way to end up the season, but we don't even have everybody back yet in there. We don't have Nick Boyle back yet, our best blocking tight end. Boykins just got back today. Like you said, Stanley will probably be coming back in on that last half. We got Tyree Phillips at least to be back for some depth. He's back for our offensive line. Like, we still and Rashad just got here. And he did great today for his first day. He did great. I would have loved to have seen him been able to get a touchdown today, but he did. But that dude, he was where he was supposed to be for Lamar. Did y'all notice he was where he needed to be for Lamar? I was like, look at him, right so he can get that first down. Every time you look, Rashad was right there where we needed him to be to get that first down. I was like, I see you, Rashad. I see you. So I thought he did great for his first day out. He really did.
Yeah.
So what do y'all think about Kevin? They wrote him off as a giant.
Zeitler, Kevin Zeitler on offensive line.
Yeah, Zeitler. Yeah, Kevin Zeitler.
Yeah, Kevin Zeitler. Yeah.
Everyone wrote him off.
The Ravens have a way of taking a player and turning them around. It's the way that we run our organization. It's the way that we scheme. It's the way that we play that can turn a player around. And that's why whenever you see a player leave the Ravens, they have they praise for the organization as a whole. No player comes from the Ravens and is like, oh man, it's trash.
They do.
So it doesn't surprise me that we can take a player like a Kevin Zeitler and come to the Ravens and he do well. So yeah.
Yep, they are really gelling, and the old line is gelling, and Lord knows we need that because it all starts right there. And I'm glad my man does not have to get out there and run around. He doesn't have to run around. I mean, he literally was playing like unfazed today. He was playing unfazed, like, let me just get out here, stand in here, and flick the ball over. I was looking at him. He was like relaxed. His whole body language is like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. It was like he was just really I'm out here playing, and the dudes he wasn't even really exercising a lot of pocket awareness that I normally see him do, but it's like he wasn't even doing that, which is why he got sacked a few times, because he wasn't even like honing in on his pocket awareness. It was just like, I was out here and I'm going to throw the ball over here and I'm going to go back. We're going to score and I'm going to go sit down. Like, he was so relaxed. And even when he did that interception, he feigned like he was so upset. I'm telling you guys, he was not that mad. I mean, he was mad he threw an interception, but he wasn't that mad because it was.
Yeah, he was mad though because we shouldn't have gave him them points.
Right, but I know his expressions now. It was just like, oh man, I'm mad that I did it, but I'm over it. Go ahead. I mean, he was over it and move on to the next thing. So I was just like, wow, they played so relaxed, and I mean, that's going to be a long plane ride back home for those Chargers.
A long ride.
Yeah, they're having fun. They're getting comfortable. The team bond is growing, and to put up that type of performance today, and Derek Wolfe didn't play.
Right. He still got to come back. I forgot about him.
Yeah, I just
Yep.
want to throw that out there. Like,
Yep. That's
what-
somebody we forgot.
About to
He
be
didn't
Lord of the
play.
Rings out here. I'm trying to tell y'all. The third day,
Yep.
we gonna look over. The cavalry's just gonna come over the hill. Like, I mean,
Yep.
what are they
He
going to
didn't play.
do? Literally, what are they really going to do when we really get back to full strength? And like y'all said, those last games are hard. Like, you know, the Cleveland and like Pittsburgh or something, and then Cleveland
We
again.
got Brown. Yep. Browns, Steelers,
So-
Browns again. Green Bay is in there.
I don't think the Steelers
Bengals
game
in
is going
there.
to be. I don't think the Steelers game is going to be what we usually
Vikings.
have it. I don't think it's going to be that way. And the Vikings are a pretty good team.
We still got the Bears, I think, on that
I mean,
end.
we got the Packers at home. I mean, we
That's
have a
more
tough
than
schedule.
in the beginning. So like the actual rundown next is Bengals next. Then we at home. Then the Vikings at home. And then we go on the road to Miami. The Dolphins
That's a home
are just
game. That's a
That's
home
a
game.
dub. That's a dub. We got real
we
estate.
play the Dolphins in Miami.
Right.
We got
Those
real
are
estate
home
down there.
games for us. Those are Miami home. Those are no, seriously, that's not a joke. Those are considered home games for the Ravens. No,
We
seriously.
got-
Yeah, because all the Florida boys, right? That's home, right?
We got real estate down there.
Yeah. So then we come back. Then we go to Chicago, play Bears.
Okay.
Then we home, we play the Browns. The Steelers ain't what they used to be, but it's still gonna be a rival game.
Right, but they get up right. It's you never count out anything in the
You can't
division.
count
I don't think
them
it's
out.
gonna be that way
You
this
know-
year. You know what? I'm telling y'all right now. I think we're gonna roll the Steelers this year. I'm
You
really
think?
thinking that we're gonna roll
And
them
I
this year.
think that's the game where I don't care how well all the other backs are doing. That's the game.
Le'Veon
John
gonna get
Harbaugh is
it.
gonna give the starting role. and
I
he's
want
gonna
it for
let
him.
them
I want it
He's gonna
for
let them
him.
eat.
Cole, by that time,
That
he's
game.
gonna have it. I think
want it for him.
I don't think he's the number one right now. I think by the time we get to that Steelers game, he will be. So I agree with you, like with wanting Le'Veon to be the number one. I think by the time we get to the Steelers, especially if he isn't already, he definitely will be for that game and is going to run all over them. Did y'all just like not hear Joey Bosa's name a lot this game where he was supposed to be tearing us up?
Dude, I actually put him in on my fantasy too. I probably got like no points. Yeah, dude.
I think he got one sack, maybe. I think I heard his name.
Yes,
I think
we
he
shut
got one
down.
sack.
We have a history of doing that, you guys, though. Let's think about this. People, those that we have shut down, what's this dude on the Rams? We've neutralized them. Yes, we neutralized. When we play the Rams, we neutralized Aaron Donald. It's not that you tackling him. We just let him run on through. By the time he get back there, we're gone. The ball is already gone. So we neutralized Aaron Donald. Jadeveon Clowney wasn't an issue.
No factor.
Yeah, Joey Bosa, you're right. He was quiet. Like people like that, we have a way of neutralizing them so they're not able to wreak havoc. They understand how to game plan for those players. They do. I'm not saying none of them might not have given us, but in general, we know how to game plan for them because you're right. I didn't even think about the fact that they weren't calling his name.
Their defense was serious though. Think of Joey Bosa's one of the the top people in defensive players in the league, and we heard his name realistically maybe once or twice in the whole game. That's amazing. Think about it. Defensively wise,
the main person that gave Justin Herbert today, no points on fantasy.
I mean, yo, I know people are again.
Let me go look. Let me go look.
They sick. Regina, they sick right now.
Hey guys, y'all just check y'all back channel when you get a chance in the private chat. I sent y'all something, but it's going to get real. We're gonna see who's who.
Wow.
Who's real and who's not, and that's for everybody across the league.
Justin Herbert, 12 points in one of my fantasy. 12 points, a quarterback.
That's hold on. A quarterback that had all them points last week. A quarterback that threw for all them yards. That kind of quarterback. Again, it cannot be overstated. And like Cole was just saying, wait till we get everybody back. We need, like you said, we need that Derek Wolfe back. Man, listen.
The Ravens is not done.
No.
The Ravens are not done. You know, I kind of feel like EDC is going to make a trade. I don't know what
you've been saying that.
Well, he
But
he gonna
what
trade
for
one of the
what? For
backs.
who though?
One of the backs that we have. He gonna trade. He gonna
Oh,
trade
oh,
somebody.
oh, oh.
He's going to trade somebody.
They was
If he
talking
doesn't
about
trade
that.
a back, or if he doesn't trade an offensive lineman, he's going to trade somebody. I just don't know if it's going to be on the offensive side of the ball or it's going to be on the defensive side of the ball at this point because the wide receivers look solid. It could be for a tight end because Zach just got traded to the Cardinals. It could be for a tight end. I don't think it's going to be for that, but don't be surprised if like for a middle linebacker or a safety, even though those boys playing good, a trade is coming. I'd be surprised if one's
Time will
not.
tell. Time will tell.
I'd be surprised if one don't happen. But something in one of those skill positions that's going to change. Like we didn't see the Marcus Peterson trade when that happened. Like
No, we didn't. Nobody did. Nobody did.
And that was a great one in the middle of the season. Yep.
We
I
didn't
feel
see
so
the
bad
Hurts
for
trade
him.
when that was coming because I'm big on Hurts. It wasn't like Hurts wasn't playing good. That was amazing trade. They didn't have to give him up, but they gave him up. Somebody else is going to get traded.
They had Mark Andrews for the Hurst. Like the reason I wasn't mad about the Hurst trade, especially since we picked Hurst before Lamar that year, the reason why is because Mark Andrews has solidified himself as the number one tight end on
Which is why I think Hurst wanted to go.
Yeah, because he knew he wasn't going to get the same reps, and Nick Boyle Hurst wasn't as good a blocking tight end as Nick Boyle has become.
Right,
so
right.
It's just no way. And then you throw in Pat Ricard, like again, him just being on the field just keeps getting knocked down. So yeah,
Hurst could have been the guy, but he stayed hurt because it's not like he didn't get his opportunities. He stayed hurt.
Right,
if
right.
He wasn't hurt.
Right.
Mark Andrews we wouldn't have never seen.
He got those chances. Andrews. Right.
That's the Ravens, though. That's the Ravens. Like when historically, I mean, look at Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco became our quarterback because other people was hurt, and he ended up getting us a Super Bowl. A lot of players have done exactly that. And that's the great thing about the Ravens is we have that play like a Raven, next man up, and John Harbaugh is a proprietor of saying that iron sharpens iron, and when you have good players around that are helping other players in the locker room and on the team be good players as well, so that when it does come your time, your number is called, you can go out there and actually be an asset to the team and not liability. That's an amazing thing, and not a lot of teams have that, because as soon as you watch these other teams, as soon as some person gets hurt, you automatically see a decline in whatever spot they were at. The Ravens are one of the few teams in the league that you're not necessarily going to see that, right? At least, I mean, certain players, again, Marcus Peters for Averett, you're going to see a decline there, but overall for our team, we're a very good plug and play type of team for sure.
Okay, so with that being said, football's a game of inches. You can never count stack dubs. You still got to show up for Sunday. Looking at the schedule, what the Ravens have done, what they've done so far, knowing the cavalry is not came. Where do you have them at?
See, I don't even want to do it because I've been on this Ravens kick, and the Ravens kick this season is we're not looking ahead, one game at a time. Like literally, I only want to look at the next team. I don't care about who comes after that. I'm just saying that's what has been my philosophy. I've been riding with them, and they said that's what they are. We're not looking ahead to nothing, to the Super Bowl, to the playoffs. No, the next team up, that's the only team that we're looking at.
That's the only thing that matters.
That's the next answer. Team. Antonio, what you think?
As far as what?
Where we going to be at? Where we going to finish the season?
Record what? I mean, if we keep playing the way that we're playing, and if we don't do a complete about face and go the opposite way, I honestly see us fighting with Buffalo for the 1 seed. We literally just beat the other team that was one of the top teams in the league. We've already beat, if let's say Kansas City beat everybody else on their schedule, well, we didn't already beat them. So as long as we continue to do what we do, which is protect our house, we haven't played any of our division games. As long as I know y'all believe in the Steelers, and I usually historically the Ravens play down. I think that with this victory, it shows that we ain't got to play down to anybody, because we easily could have got up by 14 and started actually doing what the Ravens usually do, which is play for the field goal instead of for the touchdowns. So I actually think that we can be fighting for that number 1 seed I actually think that we don't really want it. After the year that we went to the playoffs and we were 14-2, and then we had the number 1 seed and we came out completely flat, I actually think that the Ravens want to probably go for the number 2 seed so we can just play all the way through and potentially host that championship game in Baltimore. So I think the playoffs is going to run through Baltimore, which nobody wants to come here, and the bank will be rocking.
So we got the Bengals up next. I'm just gonna go ahead and get on your train, bro. I think we can take the Bengals. Asterisk. I am not overlooking any team coming up.
Of course
no
not.
Team am I overlooking.
But you still want your team to win?
Right. So I'm always going to say the Ravens going. I don't care who we're playing, because on any given Sunday, as far as I'm concerned, we can beat any of the other 31 teams. That is literally how I feel about the Ravens. We can beat any of the other 31 teams in this league on any day when we play like Ravens. So that's legit how I feel. People can call it biased or no. So Bengals, yes. Vikings, I think we can take them. Even that's in Minnesota. Oh, no. Vikings is at home. Right. So Bengals at home, we can take them. Vikings at home, we can take them. We go to Florida. That's a home game for us. It literally is. I have family in Florida and friends. And then we're at, so is that Soldier Stadium, right? With the Bears.
Yeah, that's Soldier Field for the Bears.
Yeah, Soldier Field. So we got the Bears. That's going to be a good one. I still think we can take them. Browns, I think I can see a 1-1 with the Browns. They're such a good team. That run game, that'll really depend on Mayfield. Mayfield is really the holdup for that team. It's not the running game. It's not the defense. It's not the offensive line. It's Mayfield. So they go as Mayfield goes.
We're going to get them, Regina. Mark my words.
No split. You don't think no split?
I think we sweeping the
You think we're going to sweep the division?
I think we sweeping the division. I'm calling.
That would be sweet.
You asked for the hot take. Here's my really jumping out the window. I think this is, and I'm going to stick to this. I think we sweeping the whole division this year.
That'll be interesting.
I'm calling it right now.
Would not be mad at it.
Right
so
now.
Then we're at the Steelers.
I think we sweeping everybody.
The Steelers, at the Browns. Is he going in and out? I think you're going. Oh, okay, he's there. And then we got the Packers at home. I like the fact that we have the Packers at home. I like that a lot.
I do too.
And then we're ending up with the Bengals. So that's a good little stretch, though. These next 9 games, that's a good little stretch. I mean, we got the Bengals, then we go on a bye, and then we hit the Vikings, Dolphins, Bears, Browns, Steelers, Browns, Packers, then Bengals. Like, that's so divisional heavy. That is extremely divisional heavy. But can we win out? I do believe we literally can win out the rest of the season. I do believe that. I do 100% believe that.
We can.
I don't think we're going to win.
Packers is the hardest team.
But I wouldn't be surprised about splitting with the Browns for sure. I wouldn't be surprised about splitting and would not be mad at it. I don't want to split with the Bengals. I just don't, for pride's sake. And even though it's a great team, I don't want to split with the Bengals. I want to split. Sorry, Erica.
I don't think we will.
Yeah, I think it all depends on this 5-game home stretch. So we already played 2. We got 3 left. If we come out of this for 4-1 at home, then the ship is pretty much going to be rolling to a certain extent. They're going to either end like 14-3 or 15-2 at that point. It will be a split probably between the Browns. They probably will split one for the Browns. I hope that they don't. But the rest of these games, because of how they're spaced out, I think they're going to be okay. Like, that Green Bay game is going to be a nail biter because it's just Aaron Rodgers. But the fact that it's in Baltimore,
right?
We got a good shot because normally when we play Green Bay, we got to go to Green Bay and they smack.
Right.
So this is the first time they have to come to us, and that's going to be a huge difference.
I think so.
Huge difference.
We get to play the Rams at home, and we seem like we just own them to a certain extent. You know, Marcus Peterson's probably crutches and all going to make sure we smack them.
He out there on the field
for that game, even if he can't play that game. It's just the other games that had me worried, like Cincinnati this week. the Browns, the Bears, like those type of games get me worried because it's
See, I'm
like
not worried though. I'm not worried about
I'm
any
not
of
saying
them.
worried. I'm just don't know what Raven
I hear
team
you,
going to
Cole.
show up. Is it
I
going to
hear
be
you.
the slow, sluggish one out the train station Raven team,
I hear you. I hear that.
or is it going to be the one that's going to be that just don't care and
Firing
just
on all
go
cylinders. Yeah.
firing
Yeah.
all on centers? Are we gonna get the old Greg Roman that's calling some of these plays when we scratching our head and be like, why
I
did you
don't think
call
so.
that?
Cole, I don't think so. Did you
I
see the
hope
play
those
calling
days are
today, though?
dead.
I don't think so. I
I
honestly,
hope those days are dead because sometimes he calls some stuff and you're like, man, why you call that?
why you do
Like,
that?
why you do
We
that?
had none of those plays this time, though. Think about. I
But
mean,
that
like I don't
Keith
know if y'all
Williams.
peeped this or not.
Keith Williams.
I don't know if y'all peeped this or not. But did y'all see how many times that Lamar was checking down and like throwing to the back in the flat this time? It wasn't just the deep passes. He was checking down, which is something that you usually do not see him do, and just throwing to the back in the flat. Once we get that aspect of the game going, we know as Ravens fans how nasty Ray Rice was because he could catch out of the backfield. That's exactly what
That's
JK wanted
why.
to. That's exactly what JK wanted to do. Once you get a Le'Veon Bell who can catch out of the backfield and get
There you
gone
go.
on you, and again be evasive and elusive. Once we get that, it's like Thanos. We're just adding another gem to the Infinity Gauntlet, like right now. Like that's something that I was thinking about. So I think Greg Roman seeing now after the last, I was saying it last week. I said I think we really went Super Saiyan. Again, I'm being a geek right now. I got Dragon Ball right in the background.
I got you.
I think like last week, Lamar really went Super Saiyan. And once you go Super Saiyan, just to get geeky for a second, your base level raises. So you're not the same person anymore. Even if your hair not glowing, you're not the same no more. So Lamar, I think now having done what he did at the NFL level, right? Coming back, who comes back 19 in the fourth quarter like we did? And having Greg Roman throw the plays out there like he did. Again, if you rewatch the game, you'll see the plethora of different types of plays that the Ravens usually do not
It
run.
was Keith Williams. I'm trying to tell you. It was Keith Williams.
Look, I know you were saying it. Look, Regina, I hear you. Guess what? Give everybody the damn game ball to me. I don't care. I don't care who it is. Whoever it is, that's the key. I knew once we got those added coaches, when we were talking about it in preseason, I knew that those people was going to be the added thing that the added little gem that we was going to need to take us to the promised land. And like my only thing I'm worried about right now is who gets snatched as a head coach after we go and win. Because you know that always happens with us. As soon as we win and we do good, they got to snatch our coaches away and make them head coaches someplace else.
I think this stuff gonna stay. But I will say this: as a Ravens fan, we have some money plays. I haven't seen them. We all know what they are.
Right.
I haven't seen them when I watch the game. I've been looking for them because sometimes they overdo them and they still do well with them. I haven't seen them this season. So I'm like, if you're this productive and you're not running the money plays, I'm talking about the money plays from not really last year because they ran them here and there. I'm talking about the year before that when they used to
2018
over and over and over again. I haven't seen them. And even the earlier days, like the unbalanced line, that Ravens, when they throw that in there every now and then, they did throw it a couple of games ago.
I about to say they did a couple times.
Yeah, but not like we used to. We used to go if it was 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. As a Ravens fan, you be like, here come the unbalanced line. Here it come. You ain't stopping it.
You not stopping it.
If we're on the 5-yard line or the 10-yard and it's goal line, here come the unbalanced line, and we're gonna probably run it 2-3 times in a row, and we're gonna score. I haven't seen that. So when we gonna start seeing these money plays? Because now they're starting to run these new creative plays that look like money plays that they've been striking on, but when they get back to what they do best, like these old punch you in the mouth downhill run plays,
it's coming. It's coming.
No, see, I like what we're doing. This is why I go back to the chess. We're playing chess. We are specifically practicing certain things in each game so we can get it perfected and have it in our arsenal. I'm trying to tell you that's what we're doing. When we went out and played, when we went out and played the Lions, I was like, they had already predetermined that Lions game was going to be the passing game, because we needed to have that passing game tight for the subsequent games that was coming after that. And out of all of the teams that we were playing in this first stretch, that Lions game was the game that we could gamble. Now, it came pretty close, y'all. It came close. But we still won it. How? Over the air. We still won it through the air and the kick. So they are playing such chess right now. There are specific things that they are targeting, and you guys have been pointing them out. And Antonio, you point the check down. They was doing the check down, and there are specific things that they are targeting in each game, so we can practice on, because doing it in practice doesn't get you there. You need to be able to do this stuff in real life on the field. So doing it in the game and practicing it, then they can go back and watch the tape and then say, okay, so look what we did. This is how we need, because we're going to use this down the line, and people are going to be sitting down. No, I'm not disagreeing with you. We're saying the same thing. Shout out to Major. We're saying the same thing here. But what I'm saying is they are practicing these things, these certain skills, certain techniques, certain plays in each game, because we're getting the store so they can be comfortable, so they can see how it runs, what they need to do, how they need to improve it. Go watch the film so we can have that to use in our arsenal, because when we get to the playoffs on our way to the Super Bowl, and people are going to be wondering where to get this from. Boo, we've been practicing the pieces. You don't see the whole picture, but we've been practicing the pieces to these plays all throughout the season, but we weren't given the whole thing. You didn't know what we were doing. I'm trying to tell y'all, I know what they're doing, and this is what they are doing. And all of this stuff is just going to blow up towards the end of the season, and especially in the playoffs, because that's when we need it. So we can come out with some new stuff in the playoffs, have these teams on their heels, and roll right into the Super Bowl. I do not see us not making it to the Super Bowl. Why would we not make it to the Super Bowl this season, even with all the injuries that we've had? So
yeah, I agree. This is the same thing they did when Marquise was a rookie. When they played Miami the first game, they just threw for the first couple of games, and people was like, "Oh, they got a pet." But the passing game was kind of a fluke that year. It really wasn't a vertical; it was more in the seams and across the middle. And then like after like game 4 or 5, they just start running. And I think they showed their cards too soon, because people were starting to adapt to it by the end of the year. It was still effective. It just wasn't as effective as it was before. Now, it's like tricks is for kids at this point, because you don't know what fruity purple you're going to get with this offense. You just don't know. You just don't know the way that they're playing. Like, you think they're going to run, and they're going to throw it. They throw it for more of the game. And so now we still haven't seen these money plays, like none of them, like not even a few of them here and there. So once they start to add these plays on addition to, it goes back to what you were saying, Regina. How do you cover?
You don't.
You want to get ran over all game? Or you want to get beat over the top? Or you just want to get beat across the middle? Because now they're using Brown in the middle. They're using Andrews in the middle. And they're taking deep shots.
Money in the middle.
He burns the zone every time. He burns the zone, burns them up.
So money.
Well, guys, like, it's over an hour now. We've been over an hour talking, so I don't want to go too long. That's why I was like, man, I got to go live and talk about this game, because come on. We spanked their tails and sent them back to Cali. So it's just like the Chargers. We're talking about the Chargers here. So that was just such a great game, such a definitive win for our team. So much promise, so much potential. They've shown us so much in these last few games. I am super excited. We ride for our boys, right? Day and night, up and down. I saw a post on Facebook that I posted. You know how Facebook brings back things. And I had posted, we must have started off losing games like 1-4. and I had posted like, I don't care if we're 14-2 or 2-14, I'm riding for my boys, and that's just what it is. I ride for them. If we're winning or they're losing, I ride for them. So let's just go ahead and close this thing out. You guys can give any brief last comments. If you want to tell people about where you can be found, that's cool. Definitely we'll have you guys back on in the future, even planned podcast, not just one I just decided to do. Definitely we'll have you guys back, because I enjoy your input from Clubhouse. So just tell people where they can find you. We can start with you, Cole.
You can find me on IG, Cold Crush, same way it's spelled, Cold Crush _. That's where you can find me. Closing remarks for everyone that says the AFC is weak. The Browns are winning. They have like one loss. The Bengals have like one loss. And we have one loss. I don't think that's a weak division. So the playoffs at this point go through the AFC North. Because you got to find a way not only to beat us, to beat the Browns and Cincinnati. And if you can't do that, you're going to be sitting on the couch. So just keep your eye out on the AFC North, because things are changing out that way. And whoever plays in the playoffs, it's got to come through one of those teams. And the odds of beating both of those teams to advance in the playoffs, very unlikely. Oh, it's not going to happen. So you might be one of us, but you ain't going to beat the other one. So that's all I got to say. I'll pass it off to Antonio.
Again, just like Cole said, antonio.clark.art on IG, or you can go to my website, antonioclark.com, where you can find any of any of my other social media accounts. If you want a custom Lamar Jackson or any of the other Ravens players, I definitely will not draw any Steelers players or anything of that nature. I'll gladly do up some original art for you. I think this game, this team is really peaking. Like I said, I think we went Super Saiyan last game, and I think we're just going to continue to rise. We're going to continue to keep stacking those little gems in this Infinity Gauntlet and just really start powering up. And I can't wait to see it and enjoy it with these two, week in and week out. Regina, thank you so very much for having us on your podcast today. It's a pleasure talking to you, as always, in Clubhouse. And this has been a pleasure for sure.
Thank you both. So, you guys, this has been Gina of the She Talks Football podcast. I am on the platform of the Undroppables. You guys know that's how I say it every time. The Undroppables. On the Undroppables. So right now, if you're watching us on the Undroppables Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube channel. And whichever one you're not on, please go and follow them on the other, because that's where you're going to see my podcast initially when we go live. But then you can also see them on playback on my She Talks Football podcast YouTube channel. And you can also listen to the audio versions on Apple, on Spotify, on Google Podcast, and several others. So definitely be on the lookout. My podcasts normally drop on Wednesdays. I record live on Tuesdays, so you can always catch me Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then I drop them on Wednesday or otherwise Thursday at the latest. Wednesday or Thursday, depending on what editing is needed. And so I definitely want to see you back here. I'm going to start doing more impromptu lives just to talk about. I was definitely inspired today. Why would I not be? And so I might start doing more after the Ravens wins podcast live to talk about it. But it has been really fun, gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming. You're definitely going to be here again with me. But in the meantime, Kaka. Go Ravens! We going Ravens, right? Go Ravens! Woohoo! Away, away!
Go ahead and get some shit on them.